Okay, I think we're going. Maybe. Are we on? I don't know. I can't tell. Okay, if we're going, hi. I don't, words would be helpful. Yeah, so, we're gonna go, and we're just gonna talk forever and ever and ever about feelings and how I'm not okay. Because I'm not. I'm really just not okay. And I don't. I don't even know where to start being okay. I'm gonna try to. Let's go into the live chat. So I or not the live chat, the live control room, so I can actually like see what's going on. Yeah. So holy crap. This is the live stream for post episode 11 of season 5 Swan Song. It's gonna be a bad time. Oh, I can open the live chat in a new window. Wow. That's actually very helpful. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, so let me get where I can do this. Okay. So OMG. I knew a lot of things were gonna be happening. I think we've all kind of had a feeling of what's been going on for a while now. But actually seeing it play out on screen is an entirely different experience. Way more painful than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be pretty bad, but it was even worse. Particularly Rumpelstiltskin, because that MFer, just I, yeah, that's not even great. Yeah, so hi, ghost people. What's up? Can I open? Is this even? I feel like that's not even refreshed. So yeah, we're all blogging from the afterlife. Absolutely. I think I'm alive. I might be dead, but I think that I'm alive. um, yeah. Um, so yeah, the Rumple thing, like, in a way, like, this is gonna be, I can't do this in order. Like, this is not gonna be happening in order. So the Rumple thing, let's just talk about that, because I've been trying to think about it, and I've been talking to one of my friends about it. I um at one point, at one time, I've been kind of thinking, like, he's gonna get the darkness back somehow, because, like, really the entire show has been setting it up to be that, like, he's the final bad guy. Like, from season 1 onward, it's just been like Rumpelstiltskin is the big bad, and like he's going to be the one that's going to be like the final showdown before we wrap everything up in season 7 or whatever. I think they said that they would like to do 7 seasons. They have enough material for 7 seasons. So that's just kind of what what my brain is going on. It's going to be a 7-season show, which is, in my opinion, that's a pretty decent length for a network television show. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Supernatural. Sorry if you like Supernatural. I made it to season 5 and I had to give in because I couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, like, and I was like happy for about 4 seconds. I even wrote in my notes, I was like, okay, yay, we have this nice sweet Rumbelle scene. It comes at a really bad time because I am emotionally not able to be happy for them at the moment. But like, it was the same reason. It's the same thing with like how episode 9 came at a bad time. Like, I would have enjoyed the episode had it not come right after an emotional plot twist. So like the same thing happened with the Rumbelle scene. I was like, this is a really nice scene, and now everything's awful again. um so yeah, so like this is kind of reestablishing the status quo. I can get that. And it's I just I'm I'm not surprised. To be perfectly honest, I am not surprised that he figured out a way to get the darkness back and like get this power back, because he said, like, at the beginning of the episode, something like, people, or something with power is only as good as the person who's wielding it. Like, even at the beginning of the episode, I was just like, oh, are you gonna do something? Don't do something. And he did something. So, yeah, it was just, like, it was just bad. And like at the same time, I was even mad. Like, I like right with this reveal. Like, what did I write? I wrote something down. Oh no, this was before even before that we had the So we had like we had Emma laying on like JMO, Jennifer Morrison, like I just can I hug you somehow because you were so on point this entire episode. Like every emotional note was hit to this astonishing degree. Like when she's in Rumple's shop at the end, like I was kind of terrified. At the same time, I was like, wow, your hair is really pretty. I wish I could do my hair like that. But so best hair goes to JMO when she's in Gold's shop threatening him. But also just like she's like basically like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't get me to get me to hell, and I'll see you in hell literally as I'm getting my boyfriend back. So like she was super scary there. But like so Emma was laying on the couch and she's clinging to the ring, and I need to be sedated because I can't do this. And then like we immediately like cut to, we get Rumbelle has another post sex scene and Captain Swan hasn't done anything. What can like what I'm calling timeout, flag on the play. You're going to the penalty box. I'm mixing my sports metaphors. I'm well aware of that, but just no. It's not fair. Yeah, I'm not okay. Yeah, so I love that like Emma just went completely hardcore in Gold's shop and was just like, listen, I'm going to murder you if you do not get me to the underworld to save my boyfriend. So yeah, we're all blogging from the afterlife. Yeah, the whole Rumple thing. I'm scrolling through. Happily, I think the way that the chat pop out is now working is actually going to give me. I'm not like scrolling up, like scrolling down, and then like the comments go up. It's actually going to be like a chat where like it works. Properly. Wow, holy cow. So yeah. And okay, so yeah, the whole Rumbelle like. And I was so happy too. Like let's just talk about Belle for a second. Like he did like the good thing. Let me find mine. I didn't take a lot of notes this episode. I don't know about you guys, but I just kind of sat with my hands in my hair the whole time going, I should make a note, but I'm not going to because I can't move my hands because if I move, then something bad's gonna happen. So we had this thing with Belle. Where is it? Where did I know I wrote something. I had to have written something. Because I was really happy with this scene. Oh, there it is. So like at the beginning when Rumple's just like, hey, so we're gonna die. He like I really liked that he was just like, Belle, go get your groove back, like go see the world here, take the car, do whatever you want. Like it's just kind of a mark to me. It was a mark of how much he grew just to be able to like send her off on her own, just like, you know what? You do this, I'm gonna be supportive of you, and you're gonna go, and it's gonna be great. And like it was a good moment. Why did we have to ruin the good moment? And she was just so happy about it, and I was I don't I'm really upset. Like I don't know, and I can't pretend to know what the writers are thinking because as a writer myself, I don't know I have an idea of what's going to happen, but I don't actually know what happens until I write it down because that's just how things work. So just this whole thing where he was like, go and just do the thing and see the world, and I'm going to be supportive of you figuring out what you want. Like the whole thing that what Neil said before he died is like, hey, I just want you to be happy even if it's not with me. That's what was happening. And then Rumple did a bad and like doubled back on it. So yeah, so that's awful. Belle's gonna be mad at everybody for not telling her brother, blackmailing Rumple to helping go to the underworld. Yeah, probably. I can see that. And yeah, so Emily's pregnant, we know that. And now we have like, okay, we have this post-sex scene, which can clearly be like, yeah, they can have a baby now because we showed on screen that they were like, she's clearly like you could see like the tops of her breasts as she was like under the covers and her arm, like, and he's getting like, I was just like, okay, so Rumbelle baby, sweet. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna try to go the route of how they're trying with Selena, which, oh my god, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place, but like, I just got really excited remembering that we literally just threw Zelina into a tornado. I was like, okay, good, bye, see ya, good, bye, good Regina, yay! I'm happy that Regina did it good. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be jumping all over the place. So like, maybe we're gonna do the thing with uh how like Regina was doing the whole like, I'm gonna give you another chance because motherhood redeemed me, and maybe that can do the same for you. And so maybe that's what they're gonna do with Rumbelle, to be like, okay, so Belle's now pregnant and there's this baby, and maybe it's a demon baby. I don't know how the Dark One has children and how that works. But I don't know. So yeah, I wish I knew, I wish I could tell you how it's gonna go, but I don't know because I'm in the same boat as you guys, and I'm even further behind than most of you because I don't look at spoilers. um, yeah, so yeah, so that's a good point. Regina takes 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Rumble takes 1 step forward and 5 steps back. That's a good point because, like, Regina is very slowly but surely, and she was so good this episode. I have a soft spot for Hooked Queen. I have lots of different headcanons for like, just because they play off each other so well. I particularly liked, or I particularly have a soft spot for Hooked Queen as brother and sister. Like, that would have been amazing if that had panned out. However, no. But like, they were so good this episode. I was like, I had a really happy place with all the scenes between Killian and Regina. That was like, it was really good. And like, yeah, so like Regina takes so many steps forward and she stumbles a lot. She falls back, and but then she like recognizes, hey, I screwed up. And Rumple doesn't do that. Like, he takes a step forward and takes a bunch back, and like, he has this half realization that like, yeah, I screwed up, and then he doesn't do anything about it. Like, he has this half realization, and like, maybe he might change one thing, but it's always going to be, how can I change it to continue to benefit me and what I want, not to make things better for everybody else. And he's the worst kind of Slytherin, and I'm like, I can root for a Slytherin if they're like I was talking with a friend. I introduced her to Hamilton, and I was like, Alexander Hamilton is totally a Slytherin because he does all this stuff, but ultimately he does good with it. Maybe not to his family, but like, that's just how I interpret his character as, or at least the character as presented in the musical. But like, Rumple is the worst kind of Slytherin that's just always out for himself, and like, whatever is going to benefit is going to benefit him and nobody else. And Regina's just a lost Ravenclaw. So like, that's my Harry Potter crossover for the day. So yeah, yeah. Captain Swan doesn't get any explicit post-sex scene because they aren't married in a kids show. Well, I know that I joke that Outlaw Queen is super married, but they totally had they led into it and went out of it and all that, and they're not married to each other. So like, that, I feel like that doesn't get a pass. So yeah, like I joke that Outlaw Queen is super married, but they're not to each other, at least at the point where we had the Outlaw Queen sex scene. So that doesn't get a pass. I didn't cry so much as like, I was crying inside because honestly, it really does take a lot to make me like start actively weeping. But like, my heart hurt enough, and I wished that I could, because then I would actually like have this release and I wouldn't hurt so much on the inside. But alas, I just am full of pain constantly. Yeah, and if I took my glasses off, I wouldn't be able to see. If I took my glasses off now, like the screen, you guys are not even 18 inches in front of me, and I would not be able to see any of this. So yeah, the implied Robin Regina sex scene, Regina is evil, so she can have premarital sex. She's on the road to redemption. um, Maybe it doesn't matter when you're soulmates. Maybe it's different. Like true, like I was wondering about that because like they've always put such an emphasis on like Robin and Regina are soulmates, whereas like everybody else is true love. So is there a difference between soulmates and true love? I wonder. I don't know. I should think about that for the next couple of weeks because I will have it's less hurtful than thinking about all of this. Yeah. Uh, yeah, terrible ice. High fives for terrible high sight. High fives all around. Yeah. So, yeah, that was my high point of the episode was Zelena getting sucked away into their tornado back to Oz. I mean, if we return to Oz, I think they did like they could have. We've seen what have we had like just a couple episodes showing Oz, and I feel like that's a place that we could go back to and we could have some fun there. And you know, if that's what we want to do in season 6 because there's no room for anything else in season 5 because we totally just dropped the Camelot plotline. I don't know about you guys, but nothing in Camelot got resolved for me. I'm kind of letting like I'm okay with letting it go because really we should have been focusing on the core ensemble cast rather than bringing all these outside people in. And like Meredith's storyline got resolved, but like nothing with King Arthur and Guinevere, like none of that really got resolved. And I don't know if we're gonna pick that up ever again in 5B. I feel like we're not because we're bringing in all the Greek mythology stuff. So I don't know. I'm willing to just not think about it and be like, all right, well, that was our distraction. Because I feel like that was the major thing is like the Camelot stuff was to detract from the whole thing of like where we were going with Dark Hook and then eventually getting rid of all the darkness. And I feel like it's also not coming like I don't know. I have so many like so many thoughts in my things from my face now about like all of this. And I'm kind of just willing to be like, well, Camelot's screwed. Okay. Like, because I don't really care. Like, I will care if they give me a reason to, but I feel like we're not going to like if we go back to Oz and Camelot in season 6, fine, great. But right now we got a pirate captain to save, so I'm fine with it. Yeah, so the tornado thing, what did I write? I wrote something down. So we had Ginny and Robbie, or Gina and Robbie. I laughed at that. Zelena calling Regina Gina and Robin Robbie. I did have a giggle. And then I just wrote, "Oh my God, please send Zelena away." Yes, bye, bitch. I apologize for my unfeminist language. I don't like Zelena. I'm glad she's not dead. I'm also glad she's gone. So yeah, yeah. We don't know the baby's name. Another timeout flag on the play. We don't know the baby's name. And we're not going to know the baby's name. Not until they get back from the underworld. We're not going to find out that baby's name. And apparently just all of the babies are with the fairies, I guess, which, you know, that's great. Yeah, so I'm like bouncing between my notes in the comments and just talking a lot. Please just write all of the things in the comments. Like, don't even bother with me finishing a thought and keep talking. I'm picturing a baby popping out with the whole creepy glitter thing. There was a point made about the glitter thing that somebody made because people were saying like, why isn't Emma sparkly and why wasn't Killian sparkly, but like Nimue and Nimue and Rumple and Zoso and all of the other previous Dark ones, they had gotten this creepy sparkly skin. But Emma didn't, and neither did Killian. so the point was made that you only gain the sparkly skin if you kill somebody or if you take on the darkness for selfish reasons, because really, like, Rumple killed Zoso to gain the powers of the Dark One. So really his first dark act was killing it and gaining it, and that was the same way that Nimue did. She became immortal, and then she killed this dark thing and became the Dark One, and that's how she got all creepy and glittery. And I don't know how Zosa's origin story came. I'm sure it was something similar. But, like, Emma didn't kill anybody while she was the Dark One. She almost killed Merida, and if she had, I think she would become sparkly skinned. And that's the kind of like, they threw a lot of red herrings at us for the promo material. I know some people are upset about that, but you know, if you don't want to reveal the big twists, then you're going to say, you know, this is how things are. Because the Comic-Con preview, Emma was very sparkly. It was very pale. Like, she just looked, just like Dark Swan in general, was just like, she had the black outfit, but otherwise she was white. And I kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, she's the daughter of Snow White with skin as white as snow and lips as red as blood. That's what happened to Emma Swan. So she had the white hair, and she had the very pale skin, the very starkly contrasted lips. Like, even her eyebrows were lighter. But even then, like, you could see in the promo that, like, she had the sparkly skin because she murdered somebody. She murdered the guard. And Killian didn't kill anybody. He had Nimue killed somebody. She killed Merlin, and it was like through him, so it wasn't actually him. So there's the loopholes that we keep working through. We keep finding loopholes to get things in. So that's how neither one of them became sparkly skin. So I don't know if a baby being born of the Dark One and a normal person would have sparkly skin, but I would wonder if they had more penchants for darkness than before, because we had the whole thing last season about how babies are blank slates and they can be good or evil and blah 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 blah. So if your parent is the entity of all darkness, does that warp your DNA to, you know, be able to pass on more darkness than usual? Questions to think about. Biology. Yeah, so yeah, the look on Regina's face when Emma had to, like, yeah, you could totally see Emma and Regina had some good scenes this episode too. Like, I like really good scenes. I was very impressed by the acting with both of them. Like, when they're in the vault, and like, JMO again needs to stop crying all the time, because I want to cry when JMO cries. So we had when in the scene in the vault when Emma was like, "You're gonna have to kill me," like, really, like, for reals. If you meant that promise, then you're gonna have to keep it. And like, you could see Regina, she didn't want to, but she had this look on her face like, well, I promised, and this is what we're gonna have to do. Like, that was really a good scene between them, because Regina was like, no, you, like, are you sure about this? Like, think this through. And Emma was like, yeah, because this is the only way to fix things and, like, do it the way that, on my terms, the way, like, if she, because really that was her whole thing, is like, she can't, like, the reason why she brought Killian back to begin with is like, she's like, I can't live without him, so it's better if he lives and I dies, and all of that, like, that yeah, so the fact that, like, then Emma had to do that, like, because Regina knows, like, she lost Daniel, and then she almost lost Robin, and we had that whole conflict between them. So, like, she knows exactly what Emma must be going through to be, and, like, then Regina killed her father too. So, like, Regina having to kill the person that she loves most, losing her true love, almost losing her soulmate. You know, I think there's a difference between soulmate and true love, but, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, Regina knows exactly where Emma is, and I really feel that she does genuinely hate that Emma has to go through that, because she knows how painful it is, and how it's like, Regina's still not over it. She's definitely not over the fact that, like, her father's dead, and, like, she wanted to reconcile with her mom, but her mom's crazy pants. And that's going to be an interesting meetup when we go back to the underworld and we see all of the dead villains are back. So yeah, it was good. A lot of really, really good. Like, I hate it when they have to have Regina and Emma bigger, because excuse me, it's annoying. It at this point I'm over it. I'm really over it. And when they have these scenes like this where they both just get it and they both understand each other because they are so alike, I'm just like, it's so good when it's on point, and it's so bad when it's just frivolous fighting and bickering. Oh my gosh, I have the hiccups. Um, so I don't have it. I'm looking at two TARDISes right now on my desk. One's my TARDIS cookie jar that's being guarded by Captain Swan, and I got a new Funko. I got the come here. I got the Natasha holding Steve's shield bobblehead because I am shipper trash, and this is the closest Romanogers merchandise we're ever gonna get because they insist on doing Hulk Tasha in the MCU, and they are wrong. And this is the way to go. So yeah, she's also guarding the shield, or the TARDIS with the shield and her batons. And then I have another TARDIS right there. But unfortunately, they do not travel through time and space. I'm sorry. I wish we could just skip a lot of things and go to March. But if we do that, then I'm also going to miss like 8 weeks of classes. And I can't do that because grad school is really hard. So yeah, oh my God. JMO's amazing. Yeah, JMO's amazing. Her crime when Killian died, and then we took his body away. Like the mascara running down her face. The whole like clinging to him, and if she stops touching him, he's gonna be gone, and she can't handle that. And like, here's the other thing. Here's the thing I noticed. I was looking specifically at Mary Margaret because I couldn't look at JMO anymore because I was like, I can't, because I will actually start crying now. We have Mary Margaret was like holding on to her and like, come here, and like I was trying to read her lips, and the only thing I could read was baby. So she was like trying to comfort her and being a mom, and you guys know how I feel about these things. With Mary Margaret and Emma, like they had good scenes with, like, they said I love you and they were hugging, and Mary Margaret's like, listen, if this is how it's gonna be, it's gonna be that way, and you know, you're gonna have your brother, and you know, that's it. And I this episode, you guys, it screwed me up. This hit all of the notes that I love, all of the things that I love to see. It hit those notes, and I can't. Yeah. So the whole thing with with Mary Margaret comforting Emma when when they're taking Killian's body away, and it was good. It was really good. I'm not gonna cry. I'm just gonna be emotional. Yeah, that was super real. Yeah, the thing about Zelina is it's not Robin and Regina's job to decide she's an unfit mother. That needs to be decided by an impartial judge, psychologist, or social worker. Yes, that is a good point. However, I feel like the only psychologist in town, Dr. Hopper, might be kind of biased. So there's nobody in town who is impartial because it is such a small town and everybody gets affected by everything. So like it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, she like, this is the impartial judge or the impartial psychologist or whatever. So yeah, that's a little bit wonky. But unless they bring in somebody from the outside, which can they? I don't know if they can. Yeah, so that is a good point about the unfit mother thing, because I think people were having that fight back in like season 1 and season 2 with Emma and Regina. And like even then I was just like, because I specifically remember the one time that Dr. Hopper grew a pair. And he said, you know, when they decide if on who gets custody of a child, they always call in a psychologist, because they did bring that up before. Like I don't know, because I don't know if he's impartial enough for anything. I don't know, because he is like there and he witnesses everything. So I don't know. I don't really know how impartial works in this case. So, but that's the very limited thing that I know. I'm probably going to be learning more about that later because I am going into psychology. The Camelot thing finished up eventually. Yeah, because we had the magic dust thing, Emma and Violet, and like there is like yeah. So there is Camelot stuff that needs to be eventually resolved. Maybe at this point they're like, all right, so we have this and it's unresolved. We can revisit it later because we're heading into syndication as of March 6th. So like they do have, they're pretty much guaranteed to be renewed at this point because they're in syndication and you got to meet that sweet cash flow. So they're probably just like, okay, we actually like know for certain that we're going to be picked up again. We can revisit the Camelot thing, which I am okay with. If we want to drop storylines and pick them up later, that's totally fine instead of trying to rush through them in 12 episodes. Because there is quite a lot that they just were like, and done. So yeah, I'm very okay with the fact that if we come back later, I'm totally okay with that. That'd be great. Which, speaking of the syndication thing, so I was thinking about this earlier because that's what I do. Just quick detractment for a second. So I was kind of thinking like what channels would put this into syndication because like, you see the Big Bang Theory and you see Friends and you see like all the sitcoms, It's Always Sunny and I'm trying to think of any other sitcom, Two and a Half Men, what other sitcoms are there? Like How I Met Your Mother, like all that's on like FX and TBS and like all these, I guess like they're kind of like more geared towards comedy in the first place. But like I was thinking like, is Once going to be on reruns on like Lifetime, like Grey's Anatomy is? Like what's going to pick up this weird show about magic and happy endings that's not Lifetime channel for women? So I'm very curious to see who picks up this show to be in syndication, but we do get syndication now, at least as of March 6th. So I'm just interested to see hockey updates. So I'm interested to see about that. So so like there's the Enchanted Forest and Storybrooke, Camelot, and Merida and all that might return after the Underworld. Yeah, because we do kind of have an important mission coming up. Yeah, so the whole magic whiskey thing. It just jumped. It's not supposed to jump. It's a different thing. Yeah, so if we get a scene where Emma talked to Merida and got that magic whiskey so they could reach Killian. I don't know because I don't know if they have the magic whiskey because I don't look at spoilers. But like we had this whole thing where we have the magic whiskey specifically to talk to the dead, and then we don't use it. Okay, so then why else did we have this random episode with Merida? Like, that was the only saving grace with this episode, aside from the fact that I'm now Marintosh trash. But like, really, like I need so I don't know. I'm gonna have to there's a lot coming. I should reserve judgment for a lot of things coming because it's only halfway over the season and there's a lot of time to wrap some stuff up. So I should just cool my jets on some things. Yeah, Blue's gonna fulfill her master plan. So she has all the they specifically mentioned Roland and the baby and Neil are with Blue, or with the fairies. So, and that's by extension with Blue. So she's gonna fulfill her master plan of something. I don't know. Yeah, so I did kind of like side eye, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Roland and the baby are with the fairies. They're gonna get Neil too." I was just like, really? You know how we feel about Blue, right? Yeah, so set them on the path to being true. I think I missed something. Set them on the path to being true loves, even though they're babies. Yeah, I try not to like think about that with babies. I realize this is a very heteronormative show. But like at the same time, I'm just like, okay, so they're babies and they have no concept of anything. So like maybe not. They barely have, you can do this and they really think that you've gone away. Like they have no sense of object permanence, so they have no sense of anything else either. So yeah. yeah, the whole Liam the second thing. Like, okay, let's go. Let's delve into this whole backstory thing. So you guys know that I am a pretty big fan of one Keelan Captain Hook Jones. So having this open up with baby Killian being on a boat and then he's scared of the storm and then he's scared of the dark, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt real bad. I just typed the capital letter N a lot. Like there's just like 4 lines of the letter N because that's how I feel about that. The whole scene where I think is Brennan. Brendan is what his name is. I don't think it was ever actually mentioned in the episode, but on the IMDb page, it's Brendan. So Brendan Jones is all like, you're going to be a good man and, just there's light inside. And so always look inside and find that bravery and you can all this other like inspirational dad stuff. And then he just leaves them and there's little tiny Liam is in there too. And if we don't get Liam Jones in this underworld situation, I'm going to be very unhappy. I've been tweeting at Brendan Curry going, hey, are you coming back? Are you coming back? And like, of course he's not going to answer because I don't want to know if they have Liam Jones come back in the underworld. I don't want to know. I would love it if it to be just as complete surprise and just like, oh, surprise Liam, because that you guys, I'm in a lot of pain. I have too many Jones Brothers feelings. So they had a little baby Liam who's asleep, and then we have this jerk-ass captain who reveals that his father is a felon, and he's there. He heard there were soldiers waiting for them in the next port. He sold his sons into service to get the boat and row away from them. And then I just typed the letter N for another couple of lines. And so if we jump forward to so we have Regina calling out Killian at the docks, which I thought was a good use of his name because she doesn't ever call him by his actual name. So to have that actually happen, it was good. And the way that he was like, "Oh, really? You're going to try and appeal to my human side? You're not calling me Captain Guyline or any of your other zingers for once." I was like, "All right, I get that. I appreciate this." And she's appealing to his humanity and she's like, the thing that we don't speak of, and I'm like, do you mean the time that you guys banged? Because like, really, honestly, please somebody tell me that they didn't, because the way that Regina was just like posing as she's getting out of the carriage and being like way more like she's just like trying to get into his pants and he's just not impressed. He's like, so is this going to help me get my revenge or not? She's like, well, if you have sex with me, then yes. And he's just like, but maybe not. Like, he's so completely unimpressed and unfazed by this whole thing. And I was just like, oh, I love everything about this. It's astonishing and amazing, and it's my favorite thing. Oh, also was a nice nod to the continuing fanboying of Star Wars of one Adam and Eddie, because Killian did the force choke thing, which Nimue did again later too, but just the fact that Killian got to do the force choke. So yeah, this whole Hooked Queen thing, like, I just wow to the 10th degree. And like, I really like, it took me a second. I'm kind of ashamed of how long it took me to be like, for Regina to be basically go, where did I say it at? I'm looking through my thing. Yeah, so basically she's just like, well, you have to face your father in order to prove that you can face my mother. Like, Regina, seriously, like, this is what you're gonna do. Okay, I get it. Penguins lost. Awesome. So we have yeah, so like my whole thing with with Brennan Jones is like, I don't know if he was lying or not, because I feel like part of it could have been lying. It's very convenient that we can have him be under a sleeping curse and somehow he falls in love with his nurse who he can hear through the sleeping curse in the hall of mirrors in the red room and the everything. It's very convenient. To me, it's very convenient. I don't know. Oh, jeez. Why is it circling? Is it fine? Is it okay? As anybody? I just looked and it said it's no viewers. It's live. It's going for me. I can't figure out where's my thingy. All right. I don't know where is it going. Hello. Okay, I don't know if it's frozen or not. It's not frozen for me, obviously, because me do. Okay, so I see one person's back. Two. Is it good? Are we good? Is everybody okay? Hello, hello out there. Is anybody there? If you can hear me, please type something so I can actually. I don't know. Can I actually say anything? Oh, I can. Hey, I can talk in my own chat. How about that? Sorry if you're watching this later. We're having some technical difficulties. All right, my internet's okay. Let me double check. Yeah, that's okay. Speed's good. Okay, if anybody okay, so I see some things. There we go. All right, I don't know. What's the last thing we had going? If anybody's there, please let me know what was the last thing you remember talking about, because I've been kind of just spiraling and I don't remember what to do. Still frozen. Crap. Oh crap! It just went down again. I can see it. Let me see if there's anything up here. Oh my god, why? December. Where is it? Is this the most recent? Yes, this is the most recent one. It says it's fine for me. I don't know how to set the frame rate differently. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. There's no way for me to actually do that. Yeah. It's great when it's just like, hey, you need to fix this. It'd be even better, YouTube, if you told me how to do that. That's weird. All right, I'm going to stop this and we're going to start a new stream and see if that helps. So, stopping and starting a new one. So Okay, so we're gonna try this. Okay, meet me here. Meet me at another stream in a couple seconds. I might figure out something different for this. Maybe we'll do Twitch or something. I don't know. All right, stopping the broadcast. We're gonna go to a different one. Part 2. See you in part 2.